We have a city to burn.
I swear, there's really only a few gaming or entertainment companies that really understand their audience and what gets them excited or hyped. During Microsoft or Xbox's E3 conference, which has now just concluded, it was clear CD Projekt Red knows what people like, and for the next number of weeks, there's going to be a lot of talk about Cyberpunk 2077 because of Keanu Reeves shockingly appearing in the cinematic E3 trailer, and also appearing on Microsoft's E3 stage to reveal the official release date for Cyberpunk 2077, which is in fact in early 2020, April 16th to be exact. But right now we're going to be going through everything that we have learned about the game today, because we now know Keanu Reeves is portraying the infamous Cyberpunk character Johnny Silverhand. Furthermore, besides the cinematic trailer, we did get a tease at some new gameplay, the 2 different versions of the game were officially revealed, a secret message has been discovered, there's new story details, and likely more to come in the next few days. Just a lot of stuff for us to go over, but first, if you haven't already, consider subscribing for all the latest Cyberpunk 2077 news, and turn notifications on so you don't miss out on any new content. Nonetheless, I first want to start by briefly touching on the cinematic trailer. I don't want to concentrate too much on this because it is a cinematic trailer, but the first shot we get of Night City is it's beautiful. It reminds me a lot of Blade Runner 2049, which I believe has served CD Projekt Red inspiration for this game. But what's happening in this trailer seems to be maybe one of the possible outcomes from the mission that was shown during the 48-minute gameplay demo that was released publicly after Gamescom last year. Or at the very least, maybe it's not just that, it could be a mission connected to Dexter Deshawn, something that we took on with Jackie. Being that this is a role-playing experience, we shape the story, and my understanding is that what happens in this trailer is just a possible outcome. And I say that because the male version of V obviously returns to the fixer Dexter Deshawn at a motel completing a job for him, although it appears it has been botched, and then it cuts back showing Jackie dying in a cab beside V, who is celebrating after escaping, not realizing, that Jackie's dying. Next thing we see is Dexter turn on V because of the fact that, well, the job wasn't clean and it turned out to be a mess, and he fears the Corpo cops will eventually hunt those responsible for the supposed robbery down. We do get a look at V utilizing his mantis blades before he's stunned by T-Bug, a character that we have seen previously, who is working on behalf of Dexter, who actually hacks V's system, allowing Dexter to take out V with his handgun. Then this is when Keanu Reeves, or I should say Johnny Silverhand, makes his appearance. V's system reboots and he now awakes in a landfill or a dump after being thrown away like trash. Next, Johnny Silverhand then boldly introduces himself, telling V to wake up because they have a city to burn. But the thing is, in Cyberpunk lore, he actually died in 2024, and if you look closely, he glitches for a moment like he's not really there, but maybe just a hallucination. Either way, I don't believe this is the only time we see Johnny in this presentation, but we'll get to that in just a second. Overall, I enjoyed the cinematic, but it is a cinematic, not actually part of the game, although I think it's definitely served its purpose, which was to get people hyped for that character reveal at the end. I remember people were talking about how a high-profile individual like Lady Gaga, who was rumored at one point to be involved in the game, would be spotted in Poland and everyone would know about it. There's just no chance of that happening. It wouldn't be a surprise. But that really wasn't the case, was it? I don't think anyone could have guessed that CD Projekt Red was going to be able to get John Wick himself to play such an iconic role. So a last second update to this video. I've already been finished editing and everything, and as I mentioned through this video, maybe I said it before, maybe I'll say it after, but I brought up the point that there's probably a secret message somewhere within this, and it was actually found in the collector's edition for Cyberpunk 2077. Towards the tail end of this video, I actually show footage from that, but people were able to find a Dropbox link which actually contains a secret message, so I thought I'd read it out to you guys, and here it is. This is from CD Projekt Red. Finally, after months of preparation, we can share with you 2 big things that we have been hard at work on: Cyberpunk 2077 cinematic story trailer and a brand new gameplay demo. Yes, we know, for now. The demo is only available to the lucky ones who managed to get tickets to E3, and the rest of you will have to wait until Gamescom or the public dev Q&A unveiling stream at PAX in August. Yeah, we can already feel the bashing you're gonna give us online. Why are you not treating us fair? Why is this gameplay not being released right away? away. The reason is we want to make the most out of the months of work we put into the demo and first showcase gameplay live at E3 and Gamescom. Releasing gameplay right away would make the Gamescom presentations pointless and would significantly limit our chance to build hype. Why do we need to build hype? To get more gamers interested in Cyberpunk 2077 and hopefully convince them to give it a go. We are putting our hearts and souls into making Cyberpunk 2077 a great game, and we would like as many gamers as possible to find out about it and experience its amazing story. Also, hype can turn into sales. After all, we are not a charity, at least CDPR is being honest. And good sales allow us to grow, take creative risks, and deliver new great games for you to enjoy. And let's not forget about one more super important announcement, the release date. Less than a year from now, on April 16th, 2020, you'll be finally able to sink your teeth into Cyberpunk 2077. As you probably noticed, we prepared 2 editions of the game. Why only 2? Because when we pre-order ourselves, we don't like to go to Wikipedia to compare content. Looking right at ya, Anthem. We have a simple deal. There's the standard edition, the one we think most gamers will choose, and a limited collector's edition. While we are pretty proud of the collector's edition, we'd like to turn your attention to the first one. Why? Because we have really maxed out the physical capacity of the box with goodies. We think this raises the bar for standard, and we hope you'll think so too. Also, since pre-orders are live, you might be wondering if there's any point in placing an order now. Yes, if you want to give some extra support, pre-orders help us build anticipation. The more copies you pre-order, the more likely it is for us to get retail, both digital and physical, behind the game. Therefore, if you like what you see, we will appreciate you voting yes for Cyberpunk 2077 with a pre-order. If you are still hesitating though, we would rather you wait for more materials or reviews. Our goal is for you to truly enjoy Cyberpunk 2077 and not regret a pre-order. Take care and look forward to seeing you in Night City, CD Projekt Red. I swear, I always find the indirect disses at Electronic Arts to be hilarious. Obviously, CD Projekt Red has been paying attention because the Anthem multiple versions mess was a big topic of discussion a few months back. But yeah, I like this overall message. It feels honest and from the heart, something you don't often see from the AAA gaming industry. Obviously, some won't be happy hearing that no more gameplay likely will be shown this week other than what was presented today, but I understand CD Projekt Red's argument, and I personally can wait a few more months to see additional gameplay as the release date is still 10 months away. People forget that Rockstar Games went almost 2 years barely showing anything of Red Dead Redemption 2. Anyway, I have no reason at this moment not to have faith in CD Projekt Red's vision. We've learned over the years that this company leads by example, and that is something that I truly admire, especially in an industry with so many vultures. Now within this SSH folder, there are a few more things for Gwent and GOG. I will leave a link in the description to the individual who found this secret message first if you want to check this out, but let's keep going because there's a lot more Cyberpunk 2077 to go over in this video. Now more specifically, let's get back to discussing the big Keanu Reeves surprise. Here's a clip of Keanu Reeves on the Microsoft stage, and as you can hear, the audience is just freaking out.
How's it going? Hello, Los Angeles. E3. Yeah. All right. Good to see you. CD Projekt Red. Cyberpunk 2077. A while back, the guys from CD Projekt Red approached me and asked me to be a part of their new project, Cyberpunk 2077. They were going on and on about how they'd create this vast open world with a branching storyline, how you'd be able to customize your character through in-game choices. And it's not something I knew before, but I was excited by. And I'm always drawn to fascinating stories. Cyberpunk is set in a metropolis of the future, where body modification has become an obsession. You play as an outlaw, an enhanced mercenary working in the sleazy underbelly of the city. The feeling of being there, of walking the streets of the future, is really going to be breathtaking. You're breathtaking. You're breathtaking. You're all breathtaking. All right. So I gotta finish this.
Just with this reveal alone, I think CD Projekt Red won E3 2019. It was just such a phenomenal surprise that I'm glad did not get leaked. Nonetheless though, let's move next to the gameplay that was revealed and break it down. Not too much is shown, but there are definitely a few things hinted at and revealed. So the first shot that we have is a broken down, abandoned industrial building it looks like. This could be in the Watson district, this could be part of Haywood, Pacifica, I'm not entirely too sure, but there's one important note that I need to make is that CD Projekt Red hasn't uploaded this gameplay footage yet to their YouTube channel. What that tells me is that this may just be pieces of a larger video that could be going up in the coming days. And if you don't already know, CD Projekt Red has another event planned, which will be in the coming days. It'll be part of the E3 Coliseum. I'm not sure a day has been given specifically for when this will be happening, but CD Projekt Red CEO Marcin Nowinski is going to be talking the past, present, and future of the company, including Cyberpunk 2077. So maybe that's when it's revealed or later. I'm not entirely too sure, because right now at E3 there's going to be private and public presentations of gameplay that won't be uploaded online, unfortunately. It's for those attending the event only. But getting back to this gameplay, we've seen the big broken down abandoned building, but then the screen shifts to a scene of V looking into a mirror. It looks like maybe he's customizing his appearance, maybe this is some sort of shop. There's a lot of assumptions that I'm making, but he's looking into this mirror. I think that he's changing his clothing, maybe changing his jacket, his pants, his shoes. It's really unknown if this is a shop or just he's walking around and taking a look at what he looks like. But then the screen glitches and we get what looks like the outside of maybe a shop. I would not be surprised that CD Projekt Red threw some ARGs within this. There's a lot of glitching throughout this, and I'm sure that there's some hidden messages for us to find, and I'm sure it'll eventually be found. But following that, we next get what appears to be some sort of event, maybe some sort of society meeting. It's really unclear what the context of this is. Maybe somebody can connect this to the lore, because honestly, I don't know what this is. But as we proceed forward, it moves to a first-person perspective, with V entering into some sort of movie theater, I believe. And then again, it goes to the back with him holding a handgun on somebody who's working there. Again, not clear what the context of this situation is. Then things shift once again, because now it looks like V is just traversing around a bunch of stores. But the really interesting thing is, if you slow down one of these scenes, V is talking to maybe a fixer, somebody to get a job from, and if you look in the background, it's Johnny Silverhand. And it looks like, I think that this is a hallucination, and it's just very interesting how I almost missed this. But yes, Johnny Silverhand, maybe he's in our head, and he's going to be with us throughout the game. But following that, we get a look at V riding on a bike as he traverses through Night City, and then we get a look at some of the hacking. It looks like we may actually be able to hack the training robot, which will then kill nearby enemies. That's cool if that's actually what's happening. There was also a brief moment here where it looks like V is using stealth to take out an enemy. Following that, we do see some action with V, who appears to be using some sort of whip to fight his attacker, who has what appears to be a sledgehammer as his or her weapon of choice. To end this brief gameplay trailer, V is working with some unknown hackers, and I'm curious if this is our first look at brain dances, which has in the past been described as a feature that shows digital recordings of another person's experience. It's typically for the poor people of Night City to get a taste of the luxury life through the recording of someone who actually experienced it, although I imagine that could be used for other purposes, and maybe that's what's happening here. Now, as I said before, I think that there is a good chance that we are going to see some more gameplay very, very soon, possibly in the next coming days, when Marcin Nowinski is at the E3 Coliseum talking about CD Projekt Red and obviously Cyberpunk 2077, because it looks like these are just pieces of gameplay for the release date. That was the main purpose of this footage, to hype up the release date, which Keanu Reeves obviously presented on the Microsoft E3 stage. But I hope that we do see maybe a 5 or 6 minute video giving a little bit more context to these scenes, and hopefully showing off more of the actual gameplay, because CD Projekt Red in recent weeks has said that the game has changed since that August 48-minute gameplay demo that was released publicly, and I would love to see how the game has evolved. Now, currently, if you go to the Cyberpunk 2077 official YouTube channel, there is a description for the story, the motivation for V, which is trying to steal the implant that grants eternal life. But to the full synopsis of what Cyberpunk 2077 is about, in the most dangerous megacity of the future, the real you is not enough. Become V, a cyber-enhanced mercenary outlaw going after a one-of-a-kind implant, the key to immortality. Customize your cyberware and skill set and explore a vast city of the future obsessed with power, glamour, and body modification. The choices you make will determine the story and shape the world around you. Also, by the way, if you are curious who the voice actors are for the female and male versions of V, the female is Shermie Lee, and the male version actually has just been announced, and it's Josh Keaton. I know some people thought it may have been Aaron Paul, but no, Josh Keaton. Now, if you are unaware, the Steam page and the GOG pages are up. You can pre-order Cyberpunk 2077 right now. I know a lot of people are already excited about that, and I've already heard that on Steam it's a top seller. That's pretty amazing that the game has just been announced. The release date has just been announced, and the Steam page just launched hours ago, and it's already a top seller. That just shows the power of CD Projekt Red and just the excitement surrounding this game. But besides just that, we also have the Standard and Collector's Edition, which have been officially announced. As most of you already know, in recent days, both of these versions leaked. I believe the Standard Edition came a few days ago, and the Collector's Edition leaked earlier on today. But now we have official confirmation. This is the official cover art for Cyberpunk 2077. I have heard some mixed reactions because of the color yellow being in the background. Personally, I dig it, but that's just me. Either way, this is what the Cyberpunk 2077 Standard Edition includes, and this is what you'll get if you pre-order the game. A case with game discs, a reversible cover, probably with the female version on the other side, a world compendium detailing the game's setting and lore, postcards from Night City, a map of Night City, and stickers. And you also get some digital goodies, which is a game soundtrack, art booklet featuring a selection of art from the game, the Cyberpunk 2020 sourcebook, and wallpapers for your desktop or your phone. And this is what CD Projekt Red does. They did this with The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. It's going above and beyond, and this is why I love a company like this. This is the huge difference between CD Projekt Red and companies like Electronic Arts, Activision Blizzard, and really all of the AAA gaming companies out there. And remember, this is just the Standard Edition. You don't see that these days. Pretty much you just see a game shipped off the Standard Editions, you get the disc, and that's about it. I miss the days where there was some maps and manuals and some added bonuses thrown inside the cover of the game. Now, the Collector's Edition, which I believe it's priced as the same thing as The Witcher 3's Collector's Edition, which is $200 US, you get obviously some extra things. The Collector's Edition box, a case with game discs, a reversible cover, a collectible steelbook, and then obviously you get that very cool statue with V jumping off of what looks to be some sort of bike. Oh, and if you look closely, it looks like the bike is ramming into somebody. There's also a hardcover art book, metal pin set, a Quadra VTech metal keychain, an annotated copy of A Visitor's Guide to Night City sealed in an NCPD evidence bag, embroiled patches, a world compendium detailing the game's setting and lore, postcards from Night City, the map of Night City, and a sticker bomb set. And then obviously the digital goodies are the same thing as the Standard Edition. But yeah, there's a lot here. Personally, I will be pre-ordering this Collector's Edition. There's just so much here, and I also love supporting CD Projekt Red. I probably will be buying the game on GOG instead of Steam just because I want to directly support this company. That's just me. I appreciate gaming companies who specifically go out of their way to give consumers value, and CD Projekt Red time and time again does that. Anyway, to wrap up this video, what a day it has been. CD Projekt Red certainly, I think they won E3 2019 just with this presentation. That Keanu Reeves, just such a great surprise, and I love getting excited for games, and it seems like CD Projekt Red just knows how to get me personally excited. I don't know about you guys, but I really am hyped for April 2020. We're about 10 months away from the release date, but we have a date. That's what's most important. There was some rumors saying maybe it's possible 2019, but we have the official confirmation, and it makes sense. Cyberpunk 2020, Cyberpunk 2077. But what do you guys think of this E3 2019 presentation? What do you think of the Microsoft conference? And what do you think about the presentation specifically with Cyberpunk 2077? Are you excited for the game? Have you pre-ordered? Are you considering pre-ordering? Or are you going to wait to see more gameplay? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. But thank you for watching. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy this video or found any informative value, and make sure to follow my other social media accounts for updates on new videos. Links are always down in the description below. I'm most active on Twitter, giving opinions on news that I do not always get into video form, so make sure to follow me over there. Also check out my Discord for all sorts of discussion on games. And again, thank you for joining. Consider subscribing for more videos on Cyberpunk 2077, and I'll see you later.